The special counsel, David Weiss, intends to seek an indictment against President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, on the gun charges. And joining us here on Katz and Cosby is the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Congressman James Comer. Chairman, great to have you here. What's your reaction to this big news?
Well, I mean, it's obvious that Hunter Biden's committed at least a dozen crimes. I would rank this gun charge a very distant 12th in the crimes that he's committed. But look, you know, I'm viewing this whole Weiss situation with caution because it was just a few weeks ago he was trying to negotiate blanket immunity to Hunter Biden. And obviously the judge, because of the work that we've done on the House Oversight Committee and Ways and Means Committee, Judiciary Committee, we sent her communication that listed all the crimes that the president's son's committed, and she started rattling them off. The most obvious would be the Foreign Agents Registration Act violation and multiple tax evasion cases. But the gun charge is the least among them. Obviously, he violated the law, and Joe Biden wants to create more gun laws. I mean, so, you know, I'm not surprised, but David Weiss has a long way to go
Chairman,
to clear his good name.
Yeah, this is Pete King. It's great
Yes,
to have
sir.
you back on. What are you hearing about immunity? I mean, to me, as you said, this is the least of the charges. If he pleads to this and gets a waiver on everything else, if everything else is exempted, then he's home free as a practical matter, considering what he's up against.
Yeah, look, I think everybody in America needs to be paying close attention to this. They already tried to sneak something through once. We need to make sure they don't do it again. But look, again, this is the least of all the crimes that Hunter Biden's committed is lying on the gun application. I mean, this is someone that 6 major banks said was money laundering. This is someone that 2 of the most credible IRS agents who were leading the investigation testified under oath to the American people in our Oversight Committee that had committed many tax evasion crimes over many years. This is someone that clearly has violated the Foreign Agents Registration Act. The list goes on and on. I could argue with all the shell companies. He's committed racketeering. And, you know, you could even make a case for a RICO charge because this was very organized. So, you know, this gun thing, I don't know. I'm just watching it with caution.
And we're talking to the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer. I got to ask you the big question. So where are we then with even the impeachment inquiry with Joe Biden? I know you said you've been getting stonewalled. You've been putting in all these requests. Do you think that that's full steam ahead, or where are we at timing wise?
I think that I think that 218 in our conference now see that this investigation has proven that Joe Biden has lied dozens and dozens of times to the American people, big lies about his knowledge and involvement in his family's corrupt business schemes. I think they realize that multiple government agencies are obstructing our investigation, and I think they're ready to vote to give me and the Oversight Committee the authority to have impeachment inquiry as we head to court, which is inevitable. We're going to head to court as our subpoenas become more advanced with respect to specific Biden bank accounts and specific Biden correspondence that the National Archives is preventing us from having.
So you think the votes are there? You think the votes are there?
Did we say that Mayorkas, the Homeland Security, said to the Secret Service, they told the Secret Service not to give you the information?
That's exactly what our source in the Secret Service said. We were working very closely with the Secret Service. They told us there was information that would be very helpful. It was like they wanted to give it to us. They wanted to do the right thing. There are people in the federal government that want to do the right thing. Unfortunately, those at the top don't. And they received a call from Mayorkas saying, stand down, do not cooperate with Comer, do not cooperate with the House Oversight Committee.
Wow.
So that's obstruction at the highest levels. We've gone through the same stuff with Merrick Garland. And you asked the question, Reed, about the votes. I do think the votes are there, yes.
Mr. Chairman, it's Judge Richard Weinberg. Good to talk to you again, sir. What I'm very concerned about is the way the archives are stonewalling you, and now they're making an argument that there's executive privilege. I'm troubled by that argument because, as you and I both know, Mr. Chairman, executive privilege has to do with the rendering of advice to a government official for the purpose of doing their job. It's not private business dealings with the son of the Vice President of the United States. What say you? I
agree. I couldn't say it better than you just said it. And look, if Joe Biden wants to do what he said he was going to do, have the most transparent administration in history, then turn these over. These are government emails. This isn't personal emails. We're not raiding his personal house, going through his closets, getting his
and you're not an ordinary
These
lawyer.
Are government emails.
You're not an ordinary lawyer. You're the Congress.
That's right.
Yeah, chairman of the House Oversight. I mean,
we've already, that's why we started this way. We started with bank records. Because we knew if we tried to go for this stuff on day one, they would say, "Oh, this is political. This is retaliation because of what they're doing to Trump." We have built the case that this family has been involved in some of the most corrupt acts that we've ever seen from any political family in the history of the United States of America. And now we need government emails that they are redacting, where Joe Biden was using pseudonyms, aliases to disguise his knowledge, to deceive the FOIA request that might happen someday. And I think we built the case that we deserve to have these government emails.
Yeah, you bet. And especially as John's saying, you are chairman of the House Oversight Committee. Yep. This is a congressional request. Everybody, we're talking to the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer, Judge Weinberg.
And the other issue that concerns me a great deal, Mr. Chairman, you alluded to it, is if they cut a deal with respect to the false application, the false filing on the gun charge, is this an attempt to somehow blockade any further investigation and prosecution of the influence peddling scandal?
Well, that's what I said when David Weiss was appointed. They knew we were headed to court, and my fear is when we get to court, someone's going to stand up and say, "Your Honor, we're with the special counsel, and there's an ongoing investigation. So we're tasked with this investigation, not the House Oversight Committee." I mean, there wouldn't be a special counsel were it not for the House Oversight Committee. For all practical purposes, we've been the special counsel for the past 8 months. When we started this investigation, the media was still saying that the laptop was Russian disinformation. The media was saying that Joe Biden's family never got money from China. The media was saying that Joe Biden had never met any of these people, had any knowledge of any of these people. Nobody knew about the shell companies. Nobody knew that 9 Biden family members received wires from foreign nationals. This has all been proven with our investigation over the past 8 months, and we've got a long way to go. And all we're facing is obstruction from the government and from the Biden attorneys.
Congressman, this is Rudy Washington. When is the Congress going to hold some of these people in contempt the way it was done to the Trump administration and people put up on trial, indicted? When is any of that going to happen? When are we going to get aggressive and fight back? I mean, I just keep hearing and nothing happens.
Yeah, well, believe me, nobody wants it more than me. We've got this impeachment inquiry, and it's been a heavy lift, heavier than it should have been, but we're there. I'm confident we've got the votes for that. And we find new information out each week. It's not like the investigation's over. No one knew about the pseudonyms 3 weeks ago. No one knew that Hunter Biden had flown on Air Force One 5 times more than had been previously. Air Force Two. No one knew that Hunter Biden had flown on Air Force Two 5 times more. Yeah.
Congressman Comer, it's getting very serious. Thank you for everything you do to get to the truth in our country. And that's all we want is the truth. Thank you.